Good morning, friends. This is the trade plan for our Hindi webinar subscribers and uh, overnight markets. While we had expected that you know those markets will probably hold on to Friday's lows, but that unfortunately didn't happen. So the S&P 500 has closed below Friday's lows, which means that the potential for downside remains. Okay, so even on Nasdaq, again closing at the lows of the day. Now the risk here is to start to assume that enough has happened and now we are close to some kind of a bottom on these indices. That I think will be a gross mistake. As far as Nifty is concerned, we are likely to open below uh, last week's low, which was 11,333, and now you can say that you are getting follow through. So number one, your weekly pivot is still at 11,487. Your intraday pivot is at 11,341. So if by any chance you get a rally towards 11,341, okay, you would like to get short on the market. Can we do it even below 11,247, which is S1? That would be, in my opinion, a risky trade. The second issue is that we should now start to look for a, possibly medium term style bottom or short term bottom, as you may want to call it. The L3, L4 on weekly is 11,215 to about 11,080. Now on the monthly, the L3, L4 is about 11,138 to about 10,885. Now there is a bit of overlap here, and this overlap means that there is strong support in this 11,150, 11,100 to about 11,200 type of zone. So for people who are looking to buy from a 1 month type of angle, your zone is coming, and your zone is basically on the intersection of the monthly and the weekly pivots. So 11,135 on monthly and 11,215, somewhere in this zone. I think we should be able to create a short-term bottom. So do not be in a hurry. For the moment, we are on a sell on rally mode. I think in that zone, you may get some sort of upside. Now on the Bank Nifty, again, today's pivot is 22,792. All rallies towards 22,800 should be sold into. Now, where could the Bank Nifty make a bottom? Weekly zone on Bank Nifty is about 22,422 and 21,736. Monthly zone on Bank Nifty is 22 600 to 21 445. So basically below, the 22 600 to 400 seems to be a common zone where you could see, buying comeback. The weekly S1 is about 22 200. So you would like to think that 22 400, 22 200 could be that zone where Bank Nifty finds strong support. Now tomorrow is a critical day for Bank Nifty. Some kind of moratorium may or may not happen, extension, but we are now getting close to the buying zone of the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Individual stocks, I would think that you could sell into a BOB, Tata Motor, JSPL, and buy into L&T Info and Hexaware, because all of these stocks are, mid cap IT, and mid cap IT is doing well. Okay, so basically, something else that I wanted to point out was look for upside correction and a failure of the slow, and that leads you to downside. Look for a downside failure of the slow and goes to the upside. The M and W patterns, even on the 5-minute chart as the market opens. So do not act on the first peak, particularly if the 200 is far away, and look for a second attempt and look to trade a failure on the other side. Similarly, 200, you make one low, then you make a higher low, and post that you go on the upside. Now today, what we are expecting on the Nifty is that you open with a gap down, okay. So we had a pretty vertical fall here. So again, you are opening like 40 points down. So what happens here is that you gap down and then try to rally back even as much as this 11,340, 350 type of zone. If US futures say start to recover, you can easily recover back to this zone. Okay. Overall, in case we start to trade above 11,400, that would be a level where you would get long no matter what, even though our weekly pivot is this zone of 11,487. I don't think we will now get past this zone, which is 11,380 to 400. Okay. And for medium term players, your time is coming, 11,100 to 200. would be your zone where you should look for buying. Look for buying and buying are two different things. What you have to do is wait for the market to show you that sort of action. That should be it for the day. Take care, trade well, and please consult your financial advisor. On the bank nifty, I would think uh, this sort of level could be 23,300, where you would think that the market probably has bottomed out. Otherwise, we will have to wait for lower levels to happen before we start to buy on some kind of a positional basis.